Good morning. Good morning. I see you. We see each other this morning. Happy hump day. I hope you guys all had a fabulous evening and a great night's slumber. So let's get to it. Many of you may be celebrating the holiday on tomorrow, so I think I will as well. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate all of you guys for joining me this morning. And let's see where we're going to start. Love Chicken, Big Set, peace and multiple blessings to you as well. Watching from Cloud 9, Lisa Monet, 6. The Real K Fit, it's always a pleasure to see you. Foot Soldier, Ox City Queen, it is always a pleasure to see you as well. Mimi 126, I appreciate your support. Nurse Noreen, it is great to see you. Aim at myself. Good morning. Good to see you as well. Sandra, I am glad you're back. Good to see you. Hey, the hood table. Dr. LaShonia T. Evans, good morning. Thank you for being here. Where you been? Hey there. Hey there, Mike Lewis. Hello, Madison W. It is always good to see you guys, and thank you guys for joining me. Did you take the poll? Speaking of poll, I don't see Grumpy Pam, but Pam. Hey, it's Jay. Good morning. But Pam was up late last night, so I don't know if her gummies kicked in real late. We may not see a view as a view today because she was up late. How do I know? Because I was up late, unfortunately, as well. So um, I got to catch a live over at Very Carey's. And if you guys haven't caught lives over at Very Carey, you never know what's going to happen at Very Carey's. It can be nice and mellow, and then it can swell up, and then it can get mellow again, and then you can get tea drop. So if you guys are not subscribed to Very Carey, I think you're doing yourself a disservice, and you might want to go over there and subscribe to Very Carey's channel. I'm gonna drop her link in here. And also, what's going on today? We get another show from the Real K Fit. So if you haven't uh, subscribed to the Real K Fit, uh, wait a minute, I'm sorry. If you haven't subscribed to the Real Fake Fit, I would suggest that you subscribe to her as well. So let me um, let me drop Very Carey's link in the chat, and I don't think I have a mod here yet, so I'm gonna have to drop the Real K Fits. If I have a mod in the chat, you can drop the Real K Fit link. Okay, I will drop. Aisha, good to see you. Um, V185, good morning, good morning. Okay, so that is Very Carey, and let me get the Real K Fit. Okay, one second. There she is. She came right up. Midweek mayhem. Drama unfold. You guys better be there or be square over at the Real K Fits channel. So here's her link. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the Real K Fit and Very Carey. Okay, you're welcome, of course. You're more than welcome. The title is, is very, very intriguing. Okay, so let me see what I'm going to talk about today. Today, I want to start off with a little Jay Wilson talk. So, Jay Wilson went live. Can you guys hear me okay? And let me wait for that first. If you can hear me okay. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me okay. Hey, just read my book, Miami Popo. It's good to see you guys as always. Okay, you can hear me good. Thank you, T. Evans. Okay, thank you all for letting me know you can. Am back. I apologize so much. My internet was on the blink yesterday for a long time. I don't know what's going on. They supposed to have hooked up everything and it just threw me out again. If it throws me out again, we're going to give it 3 minutes and I'm gonna like throw in the towel because it went out yesterday right after my live, and I was like, "Oh my God, I am so glad that that didn't happen during my live." And it was out on and off, blinking on and off for most of the morning. So, good morning, Very Carey, Lisa Monet, Mimi 126, Terry East. I don't even know if just read my book, her greeting, Miss 313. It is great to see you. I just want to make sure, yes, you guys can hear me. Yeah, yeah, strictly platinum, shy girl. I'll drink my juice and patiently wait. I appreciate shy girl complex. I really appreciate you for being patient with this internet connection. Okay, Kimberly Black, good morning. Okay, I think I have everyone. You can hear me now. I hear no sound now, but I had totally lost my connection. Okay, that's old stuff. Okay. Good morning, Mr. William. It is good to see you as well. Okay, so I had started talking about Jay Wilson. I'm glad I'm back as well. Aim at yourself. Hey, Candy Cane. I hope you're doing a little better, Candy Cane. Um, it is good to see you. Uh, and I had announced that the Real K Fit is having her next show tonight. It is, let me see, tonight. Her show is already set up. It is entitled Midweek Mayhem Drama Unfolded. So please, you know, please, what do they say in church? I don't know. It has been so long. Please meet her there. That's what they mean when they say whatever. It has been too long. I hope you guys took the poll. Okay. Please govern yourselves accordingly. I think they say that in more than just church. I don't know why I couldn't remember. Please govern yourselves accordingly and join the Real K Fit over on her channel. Okay, let me see. I was talking about Jay Wilson. Jay Wilson uh, had an epiphany, seems like the night before last, because yesterday he was, like I say, he was no Paul Revere, but he was ringing the alarms yesterday. Good morning, Sassy Show. The Sassy Show. Um, I know YouTube cameras went live yesterday. Were, did you venture over to YouTube cameras because you're everywhere? You were talking about Wilson this morning. Oh my. Okay. No, that was all. I was talking about Wilson on yesterday. Okay. So, um, also, yes, YouTube cameras. I was able to get. I was lying in the bed, trying to get caught up on YouTube cameras, and YouTube cameras was still well, I didn't see her steamed. She came on my show and talked real calmly, and I think I was more esteemed at the person who had gotten on her nerves than YouTube cameras. YouTube cameras seemed like, I had to curse her out, and I'm just moving forward. But unfortunately, yesterday, YouTube cameras was pissed at the same person yesterday. She said, "Why do I go in this person's room and she's up there on the panel bringing my name up and creating all these narratives? And I couldn't believe her. And she's a mod over here." And I was like, "Whoa!" And I didn't know who she was talking about because I did not know that Diva One was a mod over at YouTube Cameras. So if you want to go check out YouTube Cameras, I do not know what went on beyond that. I went um I went to bed and she had slightly moved on at being quite perturbed at some of the things that Diva One had done. So if you want to catch up on the latest with YouTube cameras, because understands YouTube cameras be everywhere, and it appears that Diva One does as well. So if you want to catch up on YouTube cameras, she may still be live, as a matter of fact. YouTube camera does some long lives sometimes. Sometimes she is much in the vein of Very Carey. It'll just start out with a recap and then uh, just unexpected twists and turns happen. So there's the link to Diva One. I dropped Very Carey's link. Yeah, yeah. When are you going live again? Yeah, yeah. Of course, it is. It seems like this. It's time for another blueberry letter. So don't forget my yeah, yeah, and yeah, yeah said it. Okay, so um, now let's start with Jay Wilson. So Jay Wilson had an epiphany and he wanted to ring the alarm and tell you, warn you that these people mean you no good. I am telling you, the day before he was, I like you. You know what? I like you. I like you. Said it a million times. But I saw some things. Somebody put some video, and I saw some things, and I'm not gonna say, but I'm just gonna keep saying I saw some things, and it was videos, and it was the news stations involved. Well, just say that I saw some things, and it was the news station. I'm not gonna say anything. It was the real local news, ABC, NBC, CBS. I was like, this coon. Okay, so Jay Wilson has had a change of heart after having smoke blown up his hind parts, his hindquarters, and now he understands. Uh, I missed it, and I'm not everywhere. You're everywhere. Good morning, Just Net. It is great to see you. Um, it is really good to see you, Just Net. So Jay Wilson uh, was on the defense. Hold on one second. And he was warning people that these people are dangerous. They're dark. They go places, and you should really be cautious of these people. And that's why I don't mess with these people. But Jay Wilson, you were just all in the mix, messing with some more of them after you said the same thing about the first set that you had all on your show, all entwined, all planning to do shows together. And you said that about the first set. And then you brought on the second set. So should we wait for the third set of people that Jay Wilson used for content and then pretends as if, oh, I don't know, I don't want to be bothered with. It's going to be the alphabet brigade of that sector. I don't know, but Jay Wilson said that you guys should be really, really careful, and they will not be on my program anymore. I'm not inviting any of them up anymore. So Jay Wilson was a ghost at these people, and they come up here and they tell lies. Kind to me. They tell lies, and I think they're all in it together. You don't say, duh. You do not say, duh. Oh my God. Okay. Hey, Chef Outspoken One. Okay. Grand Rising, Ronnie Q Mods in chat. Okay, Jay Wilson was putting 20 on 10. That sector does everything the B sector does. Uh, Pulling pow pows, doxing, cut it out, Jay Wilson. Speaking of which, so 7 stars comes up on the page, and Olivia has come back because there was a little kind of back and forth because Jay Wilson was also in a tizzy about something that Olivia had said, but she said she didn't mean it that way. But what she had kind of said that Jay Wilson is like, I forget what it was. He was kind of green and he was an easy target. So Jay Wilson took offense at being the easy target that he has shown himself to be out in these streets, and somebody calling him on it. So she said, "No, I didn't mean it that way. I meant it that, they look at you as a soft target that you are." She didn't say that you are. I'm adding that. So I didn't mean that you per se are, but they saw your soft ass and they used you as a target. And what happened? You pop like a water balloon and welcomed them in, not once, but twice. Okay. So then they're up there, getting it straight. And then he was like, "Oh no, it's no problem. Oh no, it's no problem." And then Olivia continued to explain, like, "No, I wasn't trying to be facetious towards you, but I was just making my commentary about, how they're looking for certain people. He's a pick me." Okay. Okay, so Yaya said she's going on today at some point. Sorry, I was old lady running back and I was I was old lady running back from the kitchen. Oh, you were doing your old lady run? Okay, Ronnie Q, does James Wilson actually have a man? I've never hear anyone in his background. Hell, you barely hear the dog either, but I've never heard Mark his boo. Now, Disco Lady, in I don't personally listen to Jay Wilson. This is the most I've listened to Jay Wilson in the past 2 days because of content. But with the word that I've been hearing is that you always hear him say, "Hey, boo," and throw kisses in the air, and you don't hear evidence of a human in the background. I've definitely heard that at this point there needs to be proof of life about that dog. But then someone came back and said that they saw him last week and the dog possibly was in the back seat of the car. Now, I know he used to have a boo who was allegedly still married but living on his own. But and the last I heard, they were supposed to be getting married, but talk of that quickly cooled down. He was out here showing scratched up pawn shop rings and saying that they came from some fabulous jeweler, and he was thinking and asking for participating in picking out his same gender loving engagement ring. Seems odd. Did that seem odd to you that the actual groom would not be the one who was picking out the room? But yeah, he came. He even had a old gold nugget ring with diamonds, scattered throughout the chunks of nuggets. You guys who remember those nugget rings and nugget jewelry? uh, okay. Good morning, Ray Tiggs. Good to see you. Okay, so I don't know. I don't exactly know what is going on with Jay Wilson and his boo, but he still pretends. I mean, did I say that? Did I say that? He still says that he is in a relationship. I don't know if it's with food or a actual human being, but oh Lord. Oh, okay. He's lying. God, I I did not say that. Did I say good morning, Ray Triggs? Uh, so I'm just saying, Miss T Velocity. Who knows? You can be anybody you want to on YouTube. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, okay. Okay, so I said, yeah, yeah. Probably me would remember that. Thank you, Big Said. You remember that nugget jewelry? Yes, he even had a nugget ring out there saying, "Should my boo? We searching for rings. What do y'all think about this one?" So, That's the last I heard about Boo. And I'm not saying he's not existent, but you guys are the ones who have been coming back saying, why Jay Wilson always talking to Mark and there's no response back? Why is Jay Wilson always talking to somebody and you can just hear echo and desperation in return for an answer? I don't know, but I'm just getting my information. I didn't come to talk about Jay Wilson and his boo Mark. Okay, the last thing I heard Jay Wilson say about his boo Mark, and this is no lie, you cheated man that he would rather do the laundry than go out on a date with her. He was feeling extra thrilly the last time I heard him talk about Mark, which was last week. He had gone at Tracy, and once again he drug up the story that Tracy had invited his boo Mark, who doesn't go to a barber but goes to Great Clips of all, a black man goes to Great Clips to get his hair cut. So maybe he was trying to get a little trim from the little from the people who work there, because I know no me personally, I know no black men who goes to a Great Clips, I which is kind of like a supercuts, so to speak. Do you guys know any of your black men who go get their hair cut at these type of facilities? So he met Tracy there, and allegedly, Tracy tried to rub in his. Tracy let Jay Wilson know that she knew his boo prior to him meeting him. Yes, and she was like, NSC said, yeah, me and the co-workers, we asked if he wanted to go to some concert or fair or some San Antonio country boot bump or something like that. And he said that no, and he turned us down. Well, Tracy, I already knew about you. I already knew you was trying to flirt with Mark, and he didn't want you. And he said he told you he had to do the laundry. Girl, he'd rather do the laundry than go out with you. But seems like Tracy may not have been the only one who was lied to, because Jay Wilson, you had to take a whole beard with you when you went to his parents' house for Thanksgiving. He had to take his whole ex-wife, you told us. Come to find out, allegedly they still are legally married. That's what the children are saying, Jay Wilson. But I digress. But so I have I went all around the mulberry bush to answer that little simple question. Okay. I hope Mark hasn't been harmed because he said no to marriage. Okay. So I can't watch him, to be honest. Maybe Jay Wilson is a medium. He's speaking to Mark, a median. He's speaking to Mark from the other side. Maybe that is what it is. I don't know. So that's all I know about that. So Jay Wilson, was Paul revering the streets, ringing the alarm? The British are coming. The British are coming. Oh, ever late Nelly, who sat up there and just let them have his way, say whatever. No type of you can tell, Jay Wilson, first of all, he does not like to have other people speak because he's forever cutting you off, and he knows everything you're saying. I know that, but of course, in this, yeah, I know this. Well, if you know this, why don't you ask a question that you don't know the answer to? Because he will ask a question, and then he in an effort to cut you off because you said maybe 12 words instead of the 5 or 6 that he wanted you to answer in, he cut you off and he lets you know, yeah, he already knows these things. So yeah, so Jay Wilson has had a change of heart in the situation. You know, uh, we saw him sitting up there, these gatekeepers. Let's talk about these gatekeepers. So we saw Jay Wilson sitting up there like being a chatty patty, like he is the senior of all of what goes on in the beef sector. And, you had to go the godfather. I would say godfather, but he was more like the grandmother of the beef sector. And you had to come and you had to lay your heart bare in front of Princess Wilson. Oh, who he also said that, they wanted to call this the Section 8 sector, but I said, I'm beefing for dollars, and thus the beefing sector was created. The beefing sector knows no such story. That lie you told about you said you were beefing for dollars, and thus the beefing sector was formed. And somebody in my chat reminded me that he had gotten that phrase from Gina, Queen of Talk. So he sat up there and he was lying. I'm pretty sure, well, I heard quite a few lies on the other side. But Jay Wilson wanted to be all haughty taughty and hear the girls out. And okay, I'll see if you meet with my approval. Girl, come on and talk to me. Come on over here and talk to Dawta. Yes, okay, so now it's a whole different ball game. Okay. Hello, Bean. It must be beans and cornbread. Okay. Is that the return of Ernez on his head? Oh, they were talking about Ernez yesterday in Very Carey's chat. Okay, nobody go in too deep right now because I want to do a poll. Put a one in the chat if you remember Ernez. Put a two in the chat if you have no idea who Ernez is. One, you remember Ernez. Two, I don't know who Ernez is. Hey, beans and cornbread. I saw beans. So, I was talking about Jay Wilson. So I didn't know if that, speaking about Jay Wilson and, you know, the automatic turning up of your nose as if you had a beans fart was coming to someone's mind because he does have that effect on some people. When you talk about Jay Wilson, your nose curl up and your face balls up as if you just heard and smelt a old wet beans fart. So I didn't want to get you confused with a wet bean fart. Okay, so I have ones in the chat. You guys do remember Ernez. Ernez was Jay Wilson's toupee. Jay Wilson came out here with a whole toupee, and he prepped us for it. He actually planned to do this. He prepped us for it. I think he drove all the way to uh, I, I think he drove all the way to Beaumont to get this. Jay Wilson is the avid traveler as long as he can get his in his car, and it's some butt fuck place in Texas that he's going to, and he's saying if you want to put something on the gas, you sure can. So he planned to meet with one of his alleged friends from high school. We hear no more talk of this alleged friend. I think it was all hockey puck. If this alleged friend does hair and she wanted to try this unit out on him, and he took a whole road trip to try this unit out. Coincidentally enough, there were a lot of these YouTube videos of these men getting these man toupees, saturating the YouTube streets during that period of time. So all of a sudden, Jay Wilson had a former a friend, an old time friend who wanted to uh, try installing the unit on him. And then he named the unit Ernez. And he came in here with a whole flat top fade, kind of, who remember Larry Blackman from Cameo? Uh, Kid and Play High Top Fade, and Ernest was born. I would have respected it more if he He came in here with old high top fade, old Steve Harvey hairline. He should have just came in with one of these on. I mean, I would have respected it more. Go ahead and get a silky weave. Go ahead, Jay Wilson. You should have just gotten, you know, some wet and wavy weave, because I don't think Ernez even covered all those lumps and bumps on the back of your neck. Yes, there was the era of Ernez, because as we all know, Jay Wilson likes to be likes to put some extra sauce in the game sometimes. So yeah, I was just out. So where was I? So I I didn't want to go there with Jay Wilson. Let me see. So Olivia, okay, so Olivia, Seven Stars hits the panel, and she said, Olivia, I want to ask you a question, Olivia. Okay, just one second. Olivia, you were on the panel yesterday, and I just was you on the non-binary page not too long ago. And Olivia, yes, I was. Well, why it seems like you were so much harder on the girls than you were on the guys. And, you always do that, Olivia. And I was like, whoop, whoop. But Seven, aren't you and Olivia like cool or whatever? I'm like, could you have told her on her channel? Are you over here trying to stir shit up on Jay Wilson's panel? It like came out of nowhere, and it was an interesting observation. Maybe she did notice that. I didn't give a fuck. People get it where they like. My mom always said, "You get it where you act out at. If you over here acting the fool, that's where you get it. If you over there acting the fool, that's where you get it." And Olivia said, "Well, yes, I was on his channel, but sometimes." When you go to other people's places, you have to, if you're trying to get information, you have to act a certain way so you don't get thrown off and you can get the information. Well, Olivia, you're not on your channel. You were on Jay Wilson's channel, so it's not like it's your channel. And so they had a little back and forth, and Olivia was like, "Yeah, sometimes you gotta, sometimes you gotta." Let them think you're eating crow, or let them think you're agreeable to get the information. And then once they open their loose mouth and you get the information, and then you get your aha moment, and then you go drag them motherfuckers. That's the long and short of it. But so then she turns her face to Dawta, and then she goes, Jay Wilson, you said to the motor mouth bitch, the crybaby bitch, the I deleted all my videos because I'm allegedly reinventing myself, but no, it's because I'm embarrassed of all the fuck shit that I said about black people, being a dumb black bitch myself. You said to her that after all that was done to her, that her job was allegedly called, that you would leave the sector. Well, Jay Wilson, you know, the same thing has happened to you. Your job was called, you lost your job, you haven't left the sector, and then it was a 1-2 on Seven Stars. Jay Wilson went in on Seven Stars. Well, Seven, you believe some things, and until you learn different. Just like I thought you were pregnant. Just like I thought you were a baby. We saw the MRI and everything. So Jay Wilson and Olivia let in and let out on Seven Stars. So I thought that all of it was quite comical. All of it was quite comical. I'm sick of Shakimi. The way he talks to black women, he's disgusting as HELL. Lord, I cannot. Okay. Ernez. Yes, Ernez, Carrie. Larry was a drummer as well. Well, Larry was the creator as well of Cameo. Larry Blackman was the actual creator of Cameo. So don't just do Larry and act as if he was just some old little drummer and lead singer that could have been replaced at any time. He was the actual creator of the group. Okay. It's like Seven be asking for it. Miss Parker, Miss Parker. I don't see Miss Parker. Shakimi ain't shit in the end. Okay. Shakimi, she did have a good point. I mean, no lies were told. Yeah, no lies were told. Hey Jay Parrish, good to see you. Good morning. So I will give her that. There's Miss Parker, Miss Parker. Glad to see you this morning. Okay. So what else? Okay. When that lady on his panel told him she couldn't hear him because of his CPAC machine, because his CPAC machine was too loud, I fell out. And see, these innocents coming over here, you know, I can't hear you, your CPAP machine, and see that's that's the trying to be slick by half. What reason? He didn't ask her to come hit it. Oh, I may have. I don't know. He's such a needy motherfucker. He probably did. I don't know. I don't recall him asking her to hit his link. But then she comes up there, throwing punches, knows nothing about the people in these sectors, and to throw, oh, your CPAP machine. So he's sitting up on a panel talking to you, and you find the need to. A CPAP machine is something that you use when you go to sleep, when you're physically actually in the bed. So what are you saying? He was surely you're not saying he was jerking off to you and you're a terrible conversation. So why did you put this man in the bed with a CPAP machine? See, you thought you were cute, funny, and shady, but that's why please, fuck these hoes. Okay, is that your Valley Girl voice? Okay, so let me see. So Jay Wilson uh has sounded the alarm. Okay, I'm a whole gay dude out here, but I have heard so many so-called straight men on here talk under women's clothes, their vaginal sense, etc. I've never done that. It's ridiculous. Yes, that is true. But stay, you know, we can't tell people how to fight, but we can tell. I can tell myself what boundaries I have for myself. But we can tell people who are really, really maniacal. We can tell that. Okay, so we it takes all type of people to make up this world, and why we cannot tell people how to fight. You just look at some of the people around them. Oh my God, Larry Blackman said he stole his style from Sugarfoot from the Ohio Players. Okay, and that means what? Larry Blackman and Cameo. He stole his. He may have stole his style. So does that mean that he's not the creator of Cameo? I don't get Red Wing Hockey. I I'm gonna figure out how you think, because you make statements and then your responses, I don't know. Red Wing Hockey. Look up the information that I gave you yesterday. Okay, so let's stay on track. Red Wing Hockey have you looking to the left, and you're trying to answer the question that is pointed left, and then as soon as you answer the question that is pointed to the left, he has gone north on you, or made a turn to the right and due east, and 2 blocks he turns southwest on a street to go a half a block to turn northwest again. He is like, I can't follow him, but I am always glad he's here. Okay, so there's that. So what else was there? Now, here's the interesting part. So uh, somebody named Breeze Funky Couch, obviously a troll name, wrote in the chat, Jay Wilson, do you know that Sheffy invited Mo3 to come on the Vegas trip, and they are allegedly going to come out, and they're looking for you? Apollonia. Who is Apollonia? There was some. Hmm. Who is this Apollonia? What is? I don't know. It's something I'm supposed to remember about this Apollonia. Who is this? I saw that troll name. Okay. Hey Lisa Lisa. Oh, that's the not black. That's the what is it? Not reggae. What is it? Carrie, the god, the what god was you talking about? Not the reggae god, the forget it. Okay, I think that's the god you were talking about last night. Shady Bonnet, the troll who wrote that. Okay, the troll who wrote that most likely was Ness. You mean the troll who wrote that the Mo 3 Sheffy invited the Mo 3 sector out and they were allegedly gonna be bashing in heads. So you think that Ness wrote that to get Dawta to distance himself from Sheffy. And that is exactly what happened when that troll wrote that in the chat. And come to think of it, Bree's Funky Couch, that does sound like a name that Ness would use as a troll page. Good observation. Pisa and Brooke are at it again. Okay. Yeah, because all Rastafarian. Yes, the Rastafarian God. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I couldn't remember it. Okay, so he's an Ethiopian emperor. Emorier. I don't know what that is. Ethiopian God figure, I'm gonna say. Good morning, truth and reason. So I do think that that is a good analogy that Ness could have possibly been that troll page. But when Jay Wilson read that, he was like, "Oh, these people, they don't know that we travel and we take these trips, and we have things like, have you ever been on a cruise? And have y'all group ever did a bar crawl in San Antonio and call it an event, and everybody got paid, and we supported black businesses. Have y'all group ever did a bar crawl and saying, and we also had another event that nobody heard of, that hey, two people from YouTube just happened to be in the same vicinity, and we called it a Jay Wilson event. We get together and we travel around here, and we don't do the things that you other sectors do. So is Sheffy gonna be around all of that type of stuff? I'm not gonna meet up with Sheffy. So then you got Miss Cruiser. Miss Cruiser, Miss Cruiser is in the chat, and Miss Cruiser kind of took him to task, where she said, "Well, you just gonna take the word of some Dr. Alashona Allen. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate your support." Good morning, Miss Toby. Okay, another member coming in. So Miss Cruiser just said, "Hey, you don't even know who this person is." I've never seen that troll name, but and she's like, "So you're just gonna take this person's word and just gonna not see Sheffy?" So, uh, the person in the with the Carrie dog profile, is it Carrie? What is his name? Chucky doll profile may be right. That could have been Ness trying to stir up some stuff so that Sheffy would get dropped on the trip. Because now there's a tug of war of sorts over who Sheffy is going to hang with. That was a good, I never thought of it that way. I really didn't care that much who Sheffy hangs with. She's going to be a burden to somebody. May as well keep it a mystery. So Jay Wilson said, no, she will not be able to hang out with us because we don't do those things. You're scared, Jay Wilson. You're scared, Jay Wilson. You're scared somebody may pop you in your mouth, Jay Wilson. We understand that. We all have those fears. Just say that, oh no, the law is for the lawless, and I'm not going to hang with Sheffy. Just off of the one comment from one troll that I personally, I don't know if you've seen this, Brianna's Funky Couch. I don't know, but so Jay Wilson was ready to cut Sheffy a loose. You know, Sheffy, who he was so concerned about, and that's why we going. And Vivian's birthday too. Vivian, get this trip together, girl. Get this trip together. So he was ready to cut her off, and Miss Cruiser said something in the chat, and then he started talking. Uh, his little slick shade to Cruiser, and Cruiser hit the link. They had a little back and forth, but where I did say I want to talk to Sheffy, then it changed to get somebody go get Sheffy over here, and then here comes Sheffy talking about no, I don't know anything about that. So hopefully, um, I don't know. I'm not gonna say that, but so it seems like Jay Wilson will be. See, I wouldn't want to be on a trip where I'm not wanted by the other party and by the first party, and the second party is so flighty that they can get a word, a sentence from some troll that has not even been around. You don't know if their information is reputable, and then they're ready to drop me to the wayside because he talked about how good and welcoming and how wrong Sheffy was being treated by Ness and them. And instead of just saying, I'm just going to bust in on Ness's trip and I'm going to make it about me, like I try to do everything. But I'm going to do it with an unoriginal idea because I absolutely have no original ideas. So I'm going to try to put a spin on something that has already been done and try to make it look brand new. What it looks like is you're a desperate ass little copycat whore. That's what it makes it look like. He makes me so sick with his bullshit, trying to sell us some reuse. Try Jay Wilson. Nobody buys reused tampons. I don't give a fuck how much you rinse them out, soak them in water. All your ideas is akin to trying to recycle tampons. The ideas have already been used up. Jay Wilson is looking for a reason not to deal with Sheffy. I agree. I definitely agree. Sheffy was the reason. That's all Sheffy was a reason to try to pretend like he needed to be in Vegas. Now he has allegedly secured enough people to go. So what do you need Sheffy for? Shift it, girl, girl, bye. All these users. At least when Sean Bradley went, they just, they was up up front about why they were going. They were upfront about why they were going. It was no mystery that they were going to make you feel uncomfortable. What? Oh my God, nasty. Okay. Yes, that was quite gross. And that's what Jay Wilson and his antics put me in the mind of. Everything he does is gross and icky and self-serving. None of this is about Vivian or Sheffy. All of this is self-serving, trying to one up Ness's trip. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Hey, K-Fit, my sweet baby sister, I love you so much. Whoa! Okay, he was so mad at Cruiser yesterday. Yes, he was very upset and perturbed by Cruiser yesterday. And Cruiser simply said something that made common sense. Like, how are you just going to take the word of this mole in the chat and we don't know this mole. We don't know this person. So then he had to relent, and then he had to hear from Shiffy. Shiffy. So yeah, that's what happened with Jay Wilson yesterday. Okay, me love you long time. Oh my goodness. No, she didn't come and tell you that. Okay. So I have dropped the link. Let me see if there's anything else. Um, Nothing else that's nerd worthy. So Jay Wilson went into this whole song and dance about how you have to vet folks. You know, you got to vet folks around here. I was warming up to y'all, but y'all showed me a little something different. Okay, so he started the show out talking about uh oh, you can't deal with these people, even though I didn't catch any of these lies that were blatantly told to me. I saw a video. You got to vet these people. And then he turns right around in the same live 7 minutes later. And here's a troll say, I heard that Sheffy is having Mo3 people come, and she said that she's going to bring a weapon. Okay, so you like to talk about my experience with I used to be a flight attendant. I used to be a flight attendant. As if the all the rules and regulation of flying are the same as they were in 1840. Well, no, couldn't have been 1842. In 1942, when you were a flight attendant, Jay Wilson, as if they have had no changes in rules and regulations. 9/11 has happened since then. Surely there's a lot of change in rules and regulations. So you can't bring no weapon on. I used to be a flight attendant. Jay Wilson, when you were a flight attendant, you could probably wear your hip on your weapon on your hip getting on the airplane. Boy, bye. Okay, so Jay Wilson said he you got to trust but verify. But as soon as the troll said the Sheffy was going to be linking up with the Mo3, he realized that he didn't want his ass whooped. So then he distanced himself. He ain't verified a goddamn thing. He heard Mo3 in my vicinity, and he was like, "You will not see me, Sheffy." The nigga started rapping and shit. Mo3 in my vicinity. You won't see me, Sheffy. Young Negro got to rapping real good. So there was that happened. A whole lot of clownery. Okay, now what is this Nest 2.0 thing? Nest 2.0. I meant to put 2. Yes, please support the wheelchair fund. Uh Let me see. Hello, Brown Sugar. It's good to see you. Okay, so the link is pinned if anybody want to hit the link. So Nest 2.0, there was a little kerfuffle. I didn't even see a lot of Nest's chat because, quite frankly, this is just me on a personal note. Nest's chats have become unbearable. If I hear a old bloated as delusional chick continue to come up and speak about people being jealous of her, a attention starved person who has their own channel yet cannot garner attention on their own channel continue to come up and talk about her looks when she has absolutely nothing but rotting teeth in her head. This cow actually had the nerve to say yesterday that, it's always 4 digits in my bank account at all times. You confess that if the okay, if we're to believe that, we have to believe that there's always 4 digits in your account every day, but yet you're in bankruptcy every day. But you admitted to you have just gone through an eviction every day. But you went on Pizarro's channel begging for money to get emergency dental work done. But there's always 4 figures. And let me make sure I didn't even know how to even say, I mean, 4 figures after the decimal, and there's a comment in there. Okay, girl, sit down. It is just draining to hear this delusional chick come on here with the BS and the lies. I am just bars. Yes, Jay Wilson came out there with bars when he heard that Mo3 was going to be there. So Is Luke jealous of what? I am just so sick of the insanity of this dummy up there. The attention seeking of it all. It's just ugh. It's just ugh. Girl, shut up. If somebody wanted to hear from you, they'd come over there to your channel when you hit the live button. Catch a clue, ho. Okay. Lady Law 2.0 tour Nest 2.0 up yesterday. But I did see that. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk about as well. Lady Law came over and said, "What do you mean Nest 2.0? I fashioned my hello. Uh is that you, Sassy?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning." She said, "I fashioned my rebranding, and you're not just going to come over and take it." But I did kind of hear a couple of little giggles in this with Lady Law. They had a good back and forth. Uh, Lady Law went over, and, gave a read to Ness. But when it was time for Ness to respond, and Ness was like, "Wait a minute, are you serious? Wait a minute, I can't believe you're serious." And I did hear a little chuckle, I thought, from Lady Law. What say you, Sassy?
I didn't see it despite me being everywhere. I did not see that.
Oh, you're insulted.
No, it's just not true, but I do like the reminder because it's saying it appears as if you're everywhere. So I'll just go back on hiatus. I love it when I have that reminder.
Oh, you're going to threaten us with a good time, huh?
Exactly. And there, listen.
No, 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 no. I didn't mean that to be facetious. I meant that you always have the tea, and that's not a bad thing because I was nowhere yesterday. My internet was blinking out. My internet blinked out at the beginning of this show, so I was like, "You're everywhere."
I
YouTube
do
camera.
have a I do have a knack for finding the tea. But
Okay.
I do still practice my 6 hours a day off of YouTube. So during that time, I can miss a lot. It's very interesting sometimes. But yeah, so I missed all of that. I didn't see the Lady Law 2.0 conversation.
Well, it was surprising that she even had an issue with that. And they said that she had been off of YouTube a while, so she may not have heard the discussion that had been, swirling around. Where
So was she actually serious?
I don't think she, I, I don't know. Like I said, I thought that I heard a little chuckle where she couldn't hold the seriousness up of the
Okay, gotcha.
conversation.
That
So
would
that's
that would ring more true to me, even though I'm not as super familiar with her, but that would ring more true that she was just being facetious and a little messy
yeah.
shade. Okay.
Yeah, so, yeah, I'm sticking with that. So, that's what I thought I heard. Now, Lady Law, that's the one who, does the good, uh, plating of the food and the cooking challenges, right?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought that's, who
She's
that was.
black sector.
Okay, so, now, there was something else that I wanted to bring up since I saw that Chucky doll in here. Oh, man, it just slipped my mind. Lady
I
Law,
I wanted
Shady
oh,
Bonnet. Go ahead.
oh did it come to mind?
Oh, go
Or you
ahead,
were
go ahead.
oh I wanted to discuss Brian.
Okay, let's discuss Brian. We have a sad situation. I was gonna get to that as well. Okay, we have a sad situation with Brian, a very serious situation. Brian made a video. We know that he was in the hospital for blood clots, and he made a video stating that he decided to leave the hospital, and it surely had, in my opinion, must have been against doctor's orders. Because the last I heard that he was going to have some type of surgical procedures for these blood clots, but he was very concerned about getting back to work because he did not want to be homeless. So it seems like there's, to me, some concern about being able to procure some finances to remain in his place. So he left the hospital and he said that he passed out in the parking lot Luckily, two people found him and they got him back in. He had to have an emergency procedure where they entered his groin and I don't know which area I think he said they pulled the blood clot off of his chest. I find that hard to believe they could have pulled the blood clot out of his legs because he said one of his legs had really blown up and that was the cause. I see that more than definitely pulling it off of his chest, off of his lungs. So we're praying for Brian. Brian was very upset. Of course, who wouldn't be? He realized that he could have really lost his life from the time that it took him to walk out to the parking lot. The blood clot broke loose, and pieces of the blood clot settled in his lungs. So, Sassy, what do you have to add to that?
I don't know how many people saw yesterday him on Honest Row because I think that at the time Honest Row was live, I think you were coming live as well. And so take out my little filter for the coffee. So Brian was up there and he was in the hospital, as he was stopping the row, he wanted to, check on Roe. And at the same time, obviously he had to, tell us like, why are you, still in the hospital, and what's going on? And he says they want me to have a procedure at 11 a.m. today. And Spirit told me to click that link. And when I clicked the link, I kind of started crying and I didn't really know why, I just didn't, but I like had to pull it together. And then Brian started crying and I was like, shit, I don't know what's going on with me, 'cause me and Brian aren't like terribly close. Um, and I just said, Brian, I don't know what's going on. Um, but I think you should definitely think about having that procedure at 11 a.m. And then this is not me. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, this is spirit talking through me because I didn't know anything, And then the next statement I said is, if you do you need help figuring out what to do with your rent? And I was like, take your paperwork from the hospital, make sure you get a doctor's note, make sure you get a doctor's note saying how long you're going to be gone or out from work, or incapacitated, Take that to the manager of the rent office. Don't talk to anybody else. This is literally what I'm telling him. Don't talk to anybody else. Go to the manager. If the manager says they can't give you a reprieve on your rent, go to the regional director, then go take it to corporate. Like, don't, And then I was like, have you filed for short-term disability? Like, like there are things. Oh, because in the middle of this, he's arguing with Jay Dunn, who is antagonizing him from the chat. So I'm like, what the fuck are we doing?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm like, no, 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 no. We can't do this right now. Like, you got serious shit. I was like, Brian, while you up here doing this shit, there's for real shit that needs to be done. I wish I was your friend with my bossy ass, and I could have got on your motherfucking ass 2 weeks ago when they gave you this news for you to get your paperwork together.
Well, see. Okay, are you really Sheffy's friend? Why are you wasting your time on the likes of Sheffy who wants to take your good advice and use it for a wild weekend in Vegas? You could have been concentrating your efforts to something more life saving. See, get your shit together, Sassy.
I
Go
almost
ahead.
like really bust her head open with this ceramic coffee mug because I had to stop and I was like, fuck, this is virtual. But I mean, seriously, I'm not. If I was his friend, like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't really get into people's personal business on here, even if I do call them a friend virtually. I just my style. Um, but seriously, had I, if we were, cool behind the scenes and I knew this type of information, this is what people call bossy. No, I would have clicked somebody, went on a fucking world panel tour, like, come on, there's shit you need to do. You're not fucking focused. So, which I mean, this is high trauma, no blame. You know what I mean? Just observation at the time. So yesterday morning, I'm telling him this. He's like shaking his head, but in between shaking his head, he goes back to the chat to to curse with Jay Dunn. I'm like, okay, I gotta go. I mean, this isn't. You know what I'm saying? This is fruitless instead of fruitful. Like you're not listening to me. So then at that moment, that's when I realized why my spirit wanted me to cry because I needed to release it because he's not listening to you. You right? This is what I'm saying in my mind. And I'd be
Mm-hmm.
damn, I wake up to, shit from the secret back chat, go look at Brian's last live, and it was just the saddest fucking shit ever.
It really
And
was.
so my question to you, because I had an incident with Brian, ironically, that a lot of people don't know about. I don't know if you want me to share it or not, but so we're not all that close, right? Um, and the incident was my fault, okay? So I can understand why he would side eye me. This was years ago. However, like the things that he says and the stuff that he does on here, it just doesn't give very nice guy. It doesn't give very stable guy. You know what I mean? However, now we're here and he's obviously in a crisis. How do you feel about like the people I'm putting them like Old Testament, New Testament, like the eye for the eye versus the like, turn the other cheek kind of mentality. Where do you stand on that, given his
I
history?
stand on if you be you. Excuse me, excuse me. I got a cough. I got a
Okay.
bug in my throat.
Okay. Go ahead. Go on mute and cough. Lord, I hate when I do that and I'm up there by myself. I'd be like, I gotta go on mute. I gotta sneeze.
Yeah, I what I say is don't let someone else's nastiness make you treat people nasty. If that is not your nature, stay true to your nature. Be who you are, regardless. You're not gonna don't try to change anyone, but don't let no one change you. That's what I say.
I
And
love it.
if you yeah, that's all I have to say. If you feel like you are a compassionate person and want to show compassion, that's what you do. And if you like fuck him, we gonna pray for you as well. So
Period.
okay, that's what I
Okay.
feel.
Okay. Well, I love that. Thanks for that. Yeah, I was wondering where you stood on that because I think that's going to be, the interesting dynamic going forward, as it relates to this type of situation. I mean, what we saw. I mean, and then, I'm in a position, thank God, that I would have never been alone in that hospital room ever.
Well,
They would have,
he did say that his brother and his sister-in-law came out. So he
I
was
know,
alone at that
but he was
moment.
alone. Yeah, but he
At
was
that
alone,
moment.
but he was
And it was
alone.
the optics of it, him shivering and stuff. If you guys haven't seen the video, it's a very sad video. But go ahead. He was
Very.
alone. He was alone.
He was alone a lot in the hospital, not just yesterday, but I'm just saying that we really need to pause and count our blessings, those of us who do have great relationships, because I would have never been alone in that hospital, not given those circumstances. You know what I'm saying? Like it just wouldn't have happened. They would have just went on around. They would have just went round the clock on my ass. Like there's it's just no way because
Well,
I mean so that I just think that part is sad. But
yeah, that part is sad, but it's just everybody don't have it.
I
And I
know
think that that was eye-opening to, for people to see like that's another fortunate part of this situation. And that could be one of the things that make him have such a rough exterior because, that's all he got. And if somebody penetrates him, then he has nothing else around him to protect him. So maybe that's why he is the way he is. But go ahead.
that I think that's such a great point, and I believe that to be true. And that's why when I see people just dropping down out the blue and being really ugly, nasty to people for no reason, I like immediately. Sometimes it triggers me, but I immediately go to, I already know what that means. I understand the psychology behind that because it's just otherwise it wouldn't be like that. Um, and I know I'm sorry, whoever that was said they have visiting hours for ICU. I understand that, but they also allow one family member to sleep in
Yeah,
that
to
in that.
stay there.
Yeah,
Hmm.
they allow one family. To believe me, I know. Like they allow that
Hmm.
one family member to stay in that one chair until visiting hours, and then you can have your little two or three or whatever the number is. But I'm just saying that's the part that for those of us who are blessed, need to really, really. I think it's such it's one of those things where, had I not been privy to like this community, I don't think I would be as humbled by, you know, my situation. You know what I'm saying? When people are, not doing things on the holidays, or, you know, not doing things for their birthdays and all of that kind of stuff. It just, it like hits me like, oh, okay, girl, you need to be humble. You need to sit down and, and just really, really thank God for your blessings on a deeper level. And that's just what I thought when I saw him. And then he has
Right.
all of these siblings, his
I
mom
didn't know
passed.
he had that many. I didn't even know he had a brother. I just thought it was him and his sister.
I think it's, I don't know, don't quote me, but I want to say it's like maybe four of them at the minimum. Because when he was talking about the fight about the mother's house, that's when I kind of got privy to the dynamic of the family.
I don't watch Brian that much uh anymore, but
Anymore. This was like 2 years ago. I just retained
yeah.
the information. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, anymore.
Well, bitch, maybe I just watched a year and a half ago. What you trying to say? I don't retain shit? Maybe it was a year and a
What?
half ago when I
Can
was
you
watching.
pick something that we can fight about?
No, hold
Because
on, Miss trying to say I'm senile. Olivia, Olivia, you hear this chick? I'm trying to
Miss
tell you
Olivia,
how
don't
to
take,
Yeah,
don't
retain
she
take,
made me.
information.
don't
Yeah, she
take the
made
bait.
me hit the link.
How you doing, Olivia?
Oh, all right. I just wanted to hit the link to tell Sassy. You know what, Sassy? You right about that. I hate to hear him. I didn't see the video, but
Mm.
um I hate that he in the hospital by himself and he having to bear that alone. And I just wanted to say you right about that. I think sometimes people don't realize how blessed they are to have people that can be there for them. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, they don't realize that. I'm gonna excuse me. I'm gonna drop his cash app in the chat, and if you guys can
Go ahead and take
circulate
some
that,
time. We got it. We got it.
if you if you guys can circulate that, I my mods, I would greatly
Did
appreciate
Ronnie get
that.
emotional?
Yeah, a little
No,
bit.
I know she
well,
did.
Girl,
I
I'm
know.
telling you, my spirit cried yesterday out loud. I didn't know
Yeah.
what was going on.
Yeah, it's so sad. And
The
you
shit is
know,
fucking
Ronnie,
sad.
yeah, it's just mean that sometimes you can actually be human on this dang on internet.
Shit, yeah.
Everybody ain't AI, and there's nothing wrong with being human, Ronnie or nobody else. And Ronnie just made me. I'm about to
Girl,
child. I'm
I'm
about to
about to
get
be bitch.
mad
We about
because
to be three prime bitches, okay?
okay. I'm like, oh my
Bitch,
god.
cause bitch, I swear to
It's
Like
God.
y'all done touched me this morning. I'm like, oh my God,
Oh Lord Jesus.
it's
Oh
it's a
uh,
blessing. That's why I was trying to hold tight to my family. You know what I mean? Because I don't
right.
have
girl.
no kids, and if
Yep.
I don't have no children. And if I didn't have my family around me, and I didn't have my husband, I could be in that hospital by myself. You know, and
Yeah.
so it is a
Yeah.
blessing to have
I
somebody sit with you in the hospital. You know?
I have
Girl.
a real personal up close. I was just talking about this the other day.
What?
Relationship with someone who had a saddle pulmonary embolism, which means
Mm.
both sides of the lung had blood clots, and it
My
was
God.
the actual whole lungs on both
Oh
sides.
girl.
And
Mm.
they kept putting it off going to the hospital, and it was to the point where they could not breathe. It started in the leg, it moved up. They could actually feel discomfort moving from their calf to their thigh to their
Oh
lower
God,
back.
no.
Yes, they could
Mm.
actually feel
Oh
that,
God,
and
no. Mm.
yeah, and then it got to the point where they could barely breathe. They went to the emergency room, and you know how they do the preliminary pulse and this, that, and the other, and then they rushed them back to uh, the to see a doctor, and the doctor. She had a phone. She was so nervous. She was reading off of all these instructions, and her hand was shaking. And she was saying, you know, all the things that this medication they were about to give him could cause. And it was my mother had to know with all to say, don't let them take that medicine, because they say that that medication will either kill you or
Mm.
cure you. Those are the
Oh
only
my God.
options. It's like a roll of the dice. Then they got the head of the pulmonary um, sector of the hospital on the phone. This doctor said, no, check this person in and, do X, Y, and Z. And they recovered 100%. But
Hallelujah.
Mm.
those things you cannot it's very you never know how quickly they're going to move, and that'll be it. Your lights out forever. So uh
Mm.
I know how critical that care is for people who have blood clots. So if
Mm.
you have blood clots, take it very seriously.
Mm.
Follow the directions that your doctor gives. So I just was just talking about this yesterday. I mean,
Mm.
Mm.
a couple of days
A
ago.
couple of
So
days ago.
I
Hmm.
Mm.
understand this is a real dangerous situation, and he is very
God,
lucky to be
hallelujah.
here.
And he's so hard headed. He's so stubborn, and I don't think he has friends that can reach him.
No.
Obviously he doesn't have family that can reach him. Reach. I mean, in his spirit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
Because girl, the amount
And
of
then his
people that would
mama
be cussing
gone.
me out. Uh-huh. Then your mama gone and you don't know your daddy. Like, girl, my mama would
Oh
be
my
like,
God.
little bitch, I'm not about to tell you again. You know what I'm saying? Like it just would be child. Like, so that's the other part. Girl, the shit was just sad. And then to
Yeah.
foresee it was just even like, are you like and then like for him to say, like, so he basically talked the doctor out of doing the surgery. I mean,
Mm.
that's what he means when he said the doctor said, "Okay, I guess if you want to, you
No,
can you can
no,
take
he
this."
left. He left against doctor's orders. That's what it
Yeah,
meant. I know.
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah,
You see,
he got the
exactly.
doctor out of anything,
Yeah. Because
but
he's so
he was
worried about
so
losing his housing.
he he's so concerned about having a place to live. So if
Yeah.
you want to bless Brian, obviously, he's in a bind, and he's still worried about it. That is
Yeah.
still on his mind.
Because
So,
who wants to be homeless? Yeah.
One
Mike,
up once. Oh, go ahead. Let me just say
Mike
one.
Lewis,
Yeah, I'm here. Y'all go ahead. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
good
Can I
morning.
respond to one up? Do they check for blood clots and things like that in your annual physical? I've never asked for a blood clot check, so I'm wondering if that's part of the normal process. When they do your labs, one up, it will, if you, that's why it's so important. That's another thing I want to piggyback on Ronnie Q. Before it even gets to that point, again, another blessing if you have, health care to be able to do your at least your yearly exams, physical, because when they do those labs, it will come back as, a number. They're looking for a certain number on all of those checklists. And so that number will be elevated if you are at risk for any type of pulmonary, blah, 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 all the things that are under there. So kind of, sort of, but there, you can't get like a specific blood clot check physical or ask for it, I should say. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it really checks for your platelets if they are if they have like the it's kind of like a sugary coating. You know how gummy bears, sometimes they feel powdery in your hands, and then other times you'll open up a bag and they're all stuck together. That's what your blood platelets are doing. They're sticking together because they are more sticky on the outside than, just sliding past each other. And that's what causes the clots. So it's many different reasons for that, but that's the best way I can,
Very good example. Yeah.
describe it. Yeah.
Yeah. So when they pull blood, they're gonna be able to see, like Monica said, like, white, red cells, what's going on. So at least there's for most people who are doing their annual, perhaps, those type of things can be discovered way beforehand.
Scruther said, can someone do the symptoms and what to look for? The symptoms that I know are pain in your, okay, blood clots usually form in they usually go from your legs up, usually, not all the time. A lot of the time they go from your legs up. And so you'll have pain in your leg that doesn't go away. One part of the leg is usually starts to swell up. It can be your calf, it can be your ankle. It is usually towards the back of the leg because that's where the artery runs up the back of the leg, and then it goes into your groin area because that's a major artery flow of blood that goes up into your chest. Don't ask me how I know this, but so it would move from your leg, and then you'll feel it maybe in your inner thigh and your groin area, and then it goes up to your back where your ganglia nerve is, where all your nerves are, and then it's on its way to your chest, and then it's on its way to your heart. So it's some people also have blood clots that form in their brain. So I don't know what the symptoms are to that, but your body part would get larger if it's a large blood clot. Sometimes it can be a small blood clot, and you may not even get swelling. But if you have unexplained shortness of breath, uh, that could be indicative of a blood clot on your lungs. So that's all that I know.
Thanks, Clyde. We can't hear my sound properly on StreamYard, so I just took out my Bluetooth. She was saying my sound was going in and out. Yeah, yeah. And he had some warnings because he went to the doctor. What was that, 2 or 3 weeks ago when he was all upset about it?
Yeah, I don't know if that was a blood clot. I don't know what that diagnosis was when he was like, I'm dying and I don't want to die. I don't know because if that, I don't think it was a blood clot. To me, it seems as if it was the blood clot, he would already be on blood thinners. And he did say that when he was leaving the hospital against the doctor's recommendations, he said, can't you just give me a blood thinner or something? So, had he known when he first came on and said that he was having medical problems, I think they would have put him on. And a lot of times they do miss the blood clots. A lot of time they will miss the blood clot. So,
I'm
because they're
thinking.
looking for other things.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I think there was some pre warning. I don't know if they specifically knew blood clots. What I'm saying is that there was some pre warning, but because of his stubbornness, so that's what I wanted to talk about, like people's stubbornness when they do get a certain diagnosis and orders to do something. I don't know if the brain shuts down, if if they just go into a state of delusion. I don't know, but I've heard it a lot where people just kind of ignore go ahead.
Mostly men. Amalia, is that you?
Yes, very caring.
Yes,
Amalia?
yeah. Can
Okay.
you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Let me let Mike Lewis get in here because he was here first. Mike, what do you want to add to the conversation?
Oh yeah, I basically was coming up. You mentioned it about the blood thinners. Typically, yeah, I think that's what they do when people have blood clots, right? They give them like some um, type of blood thinner, and you brought it up. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Amalia?
and they are dangerous. Yeah, they can be very.
Now, Jamie, that warfarin, I, I it seems like I don't know your husband's condition, but to be on warfarin for years, um, I think that you may want to talk with your husband's doctors and make sure that everything else in his body is not being affected from being on warfarin so long. And maybe sometimes they have to stay on warfarin. Other times they can, transition you to a different medication. You may want to check on that. That's that. So Amalia, what do you have to say?
Hello, everybody. I'm Mamala. I'm a cardiothoracic ICU nurse.
Oh, okay. So was I wrong in my assertions?
No, no, you're not. You can be on warfarin. We call it Coumadin for you.
Yes.
And there's blood tests. He probably goes to a Coumadin clinic, and he's probably being monitored by a physician, and we do keep up with those numbers. So, yeah, it's good to keep up with them because what'll end up happening is your blood can become too thin or it can become too thick.
Mm-hmm.
The purpose of keeping up with it. And also they'll ask you things about what you're eating and if you're staying hydrated. I believe in Brian's case, I think Brian had the blood clots and it scared him. When he
Mm,
live about it, he said that he was gonna die. I believe that's when they told him that.
absolutely.
uh, that's my assertion. I don't know if it's true or not, but uh, gathering from watching his videos, he was told this a while ago, and he chose not to do anything about it. And when you first learn of having blood clots, what they probably told him was, we can place an IVC filter, and they do that by going in through the groin. So they probably told him something like that and scared the crap out of him. And if he had had somebody there, with him, maybe they could have talked him into doing it. And I guess he left the hospital and decided he didn't want to have the procedure done. But that procedure alone will save your life.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to add something else. The saddle thrombosis is something that I went through myself. I was walking around in the in the mall with my husband and passed out. Now, when we got out of the car in the parking lot, I was already short of breath. And in the back of my mind, I was thinking, why? How come I'm so short of breath? What's going on? And I pay attention to everything. I also have a protein C deficiency, which is hereditary. And so what that means is you make blood clots. Somebody with a protein C deficiency has no ability to um, regulate the thinning of the blood with red blood cells and platelets and things like that. You just make blood clots. And I got it from my mom. We did this whole doggone panel with a hematologist. And so, knowing all of that, when I got out of the car that day, I knew something was wrong. But I just, I kept walking. I was like, you just making a mountain out of a molehill. Well, my husband said we were walking in the mall. We hadn't even gotten in there a good 5 minutes. And I passed out. When I woke up, I was in ICU. And one of the friends of mine was a pulmonologist and showed me my chest x-ray. There were blood clots everywhere.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there wasn't an empty space on my chest x-ray. It
Yeah.
stood
Same
out.
thing with the person that yeah, I understand exactly
My
what you're
God.
saying.
I,
The
I
whole chest cavity.
yes,
Oh my God.
there was not a blank space. And I look at chest x-rays all the time, and I said, thank you, God. God really with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he
The
did. It's amazing that you're
whole
still alive. You are
yeah,
blessed.
even
Oh,
even even the person that I'm talking about, uh,
Hmm.
that's why they were like, "Oh, we got to do this right now." And after their conditions start settling down, and they could see that the treatment was working, there were doctors bringing in their med students, saying, "We have to see this miracle patient." Hold
and
on, let me bring up
My
someone.
God.
I have a
when
question for the
all
nurse. I have a
Hold
question
on,
for you,
hold
Amalia.
on. Let me bring up a view. A view, is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead,
Okay.
Sassy. Go ahead, Sassy.
Uh, Nurse Amalia, do you find that with patients when they receive those types of diagnosis and the future care, do you feel like it's more fear or stubbornness, or is it a combination of both?
it's very rare that people opt out of the treatments.
Right.
The ones who do, and I mean it's very rare. Most people just go through and go, "Oh, okay, I have to have this done. I'm afraid, but all right, I'll do it." But the very small percentage of those who decide not to, it is usually fear. And
Mm-hmm.
I believe that Brian was afraid. I
Yeah.
think he was shocked. Um, I think it hit him like a boulder, and he couldn't process it. And I
Mm,
Yeah.
think he just said, you know what? He went into denial and he left the hospital. That's
And
mm,
what
plus,
I
he don't have nobody to support him to say, you're
right.
gonna have to do this, or you need this to save your life, and so I agree with that. He don't have nobody to, kind of stand behind him because you will go in denial, you know what I mean? But if you don't have nobody there to kind of steer you the right way, you will leave the hospital and you can die because of the denial. So I agree with
Oh yeah. Let me tell you something that happened recently. Um, an older black gentleman came in and the doctors told him the same thing that they probably said to Brian. Listen, you have these blood clots. This is your third admission for the same thing. We noticed you were here a couple of months ago for this. He was not compliant with his medications. He was dehydrated,
you.
and he was advised to stay to get the IVC filter placed. And the guy looked at me. He said, "Sister," this was after the doctor left the room. He said, "Sister, what do you think?" Because he had no family there, and it broke my heart. He
Oh
had
my
no
God.
family there. He had nobody to tell him, you need to go ahead and get this done. So
And
he left.
obviously, he did not trust that the doctors were giving him the right information as well. Because, yeah, well,
Exactly.
go ahead.
Absolutely. He did not trust the doctor. And a
Mhm.
lot of us as black people, we don't. And for very good reason.
That's
Because that
right.
became a nurse in the first place.
Yep.
Exactly.
We
Mm.
don't
God
trust.
bless you.
And we should not trust. I
Yeah.
won't say blanket don't trust. I say question everything. Because
Yes.
there are physicians and nurses out here that they just ain't on our team.
Yep.
You know?
That's right.
So
That's
in
right.
Brian's case, it would be behoove him to grab a hold of somebody in his family that he really loves and trusts, and atone with them. If you're not getting along, atone and get them, because this keeps happening. He's gonna end up in a bad place.
Yeah.
Like this isn't bad enough, but
Yeah.
get with them and let them lead you and pray. Stay prayed up. So in the
Yeah.
instance, you run into something like this again, God will talk to you like me.
Sure will.
If
That's
I
right.
didn't have my husband, if I didn't have
Yeah.
God, I would have been like, you know what? I'm just
Mm.
gonna
Mm.
keep
Mm.
on going, and
Mm.
and who knows how it would have ended up. But
Amen.
And let's be clear, this is just really a fact that men do not like
Yes.
to go to the hospital. There
They
are
sure the hell
many
don't. They
ailments
sure the hell
that
don't.
could be. Which one is it? Chronic or chronic is what is it? Chronic and something. Before
months,
it turns, huh?
chronic, and are you speaking in terms of critical versus chronic?
Yeah, critical versus chronic. Which one is like it's all the way the
That's
worst it can be?
chronic, is all the time. Just
Mm.
Yes.
more.
Okay. So some people can catch things early. Is my point before
Right.
Right.
it's
Yes.
life threatening, and
You right.
just simple
Yep.
regular checkups can
Yep.
prevent problems becoming chronic. You
Yeah.
can catch things in stage one as opposed to stage
Mhm.
four with a regular
Yeah.
checkup. So
It,
You
if
so
you
right
have a
about that,
man
Ronnie.
in your life, try to stay on them.
Yeah, you right about that, Ronnie. Because I had to make changes in my house. When you talking about Ben don't like to go to the
Acute.
doctor.
Acute is the word that I'm looking for.
yeah,
Acute and chronic. Yes.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Acute is sudden. Chronic, just remember, chronic is the longer one. It has been happening for more than a period of 3 months. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you guys are saying something that's very important. Our men do
Yeah.
not any kind of medical treatment, and
Mm-mm.
they think it's a sign of weakness.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yep. Yep.
no,
You gotta make them go to the doctor. Make them do right.
there's been studies conducted on this, and one of the outcomes was that married men tend to live longer than single
Mm.
men, and it's because the wives get in their ass and make them go and they
Mhm.
sit with them and they go through the treatments with them and they go and get the consultations.
Yeah.
Women are the key in that situation to keeping the men here longer
Yeah.
because women ain't standing for it. And I'm like that. My husband has high blood pressure, and I
Thank
was the
you.
one that diagnosed my husband.
Hmm. I bet I had a fit. Well, I changed our whole eating habits and everything.
Yeah,
When that, when I had to make my husband go to the doctor, and then they said he had high blood, and we know that high blood pressure is a number one killer when it comes to black men, especially in our community. And so I changed a whole lot of the ways that he eat and all this, like, cause he ain't gonna do it on his own. He ain't even gonna go to the doctor's appointment on his own, and left
yeah,
to his own device. He wouldn't even tell me when he had to go to a doctor. I have to keep up with the dang on doctor's appointments. It's like pulling teeth. So
it
you're
is.
And,
right
let,
about that.
and let's be clear, we're not giving any type of medical advice. The advice that we're giving today is to uh, do regular checkups and
Yeah.
follow the directions of your physician. We're
I have
talking
Well,
about
I have
personal
another question.
experiences.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Go ahead.
well,
Oh, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
I'm sorry, Mike. Nurse Amelia, I have another question. Go ahead, Mike. I think I interrupted you.
I well, basically what I was just saying, I was just kind of piggybacking off of what y'all was saying about the high blood pressure, and I'm just gonna back up a little bit to 2022. I'm about to bore y'all. I was at work day in and day out. I just kept feeling so weak, and I was saying, you know what? Maybe I just been working too much, and this is around the time, when the C-19 was going around and it was still bad and stuff. Um, and I just would sit down. I said, maybe I need to take a test. I took two of those tests at work. And typically, I would be the type of person where I'll go home and I'll sleep it off. I ain't gonna worry about it. So I said, okay, those are negative. So then I told my mom, I said, I'm just gonna have to leave from work to go to the urgent care. I go to urgent care because I had already knew I had high blood pressure. I was just hard headed. Um, I went, I got my test, they got to take your blood and everything. They come back. I'm thinking they're just going to say, oh, you just got this or you just need to do that. That doctor came in there and said, I don't know how to tell you this, but where you're feeling like this right now, like out of breath and all this stuff, she said, have heart failure.
Oh.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yes.
And she said, your heart is so big and
Oh.
like enlarged. She's like, I don't know why your heart is this big. She said,
Mm.
we got to send you from here to the big hospital.
Mm-hmm.
She said, we're not sending you home.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
And
Well, I'm
I
glad you're
was,
still here. I'm glad you're still here.
me too.
um, my symptoms were like, when I would lay down at night, I just literally felt like I couldn't breathe. Like I felt like I had fluid in my lungs. Like I would wake up just gagging, it was a horrible feeling. I'm like, what is wrong with me? And it was bad that it took all that for me to go, but
Mm.
that's what it was. And then I called my mom and I told her about it, and she was crying. And
Mm. Mm.
she was like, well, Michael, how long I've been telling you to do better? She's like, you're not even really a big guy, but I could probably lose about 30 pounds. And she was like, you need to do better. Then when I finally talked to the cardiologist, and she's been great with me. Um, she saved my life. I honestly think she did.
Mm.
They did the test and everything, and she said that your heart. She said the good thing is that this looks recoverable.
Mm.
And when she
And she,
said um, your valves are probably in good condition because one of the problems with heart failure, um, the uh, the valves in the heart are weak. And what happens is either you have right sided or left sided heart failure, you start to swell up and fluid starts to back up
Mm.
in the lungs. And if it's right sided, you'll see it in your feet. If it's left
yeah,
sided, you'll have like a shortness of breath all the time and you'll feel
yeah,
sluggish. And
Mm.
yeah.
he probably told you something about not being able to go home. Were you admitted?
Yeah, I was admitted. I was there for probably about 3 or 4 days because at first, and I'm sorry, I know other people want to speak, but at first she was trying to figure out if they were going to have to tap it to release the fluid. But then she realized she didn't have to. They basically gave me like they call them water pills, basically, and it just basically made me pee a lot. And
They Lasix probably one of the
yeah,
strong.
LASIK.
Yes.
Okay, Pam, you wanted to get in here, Pam? What do you want to add?
Okay, you all have touched all the points
I just
there.
have
I have actually. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Miss Pam. I just have a really quick question for the nurse, and then I can drop down. I just want to know really quickly: is it true that a more water intake can assist people with these like things that are coming up in their body? Like, is that at all factual?
Oh yes, it's very factual. You have to stay hydrated because what happens is Ronnie Q touched on this several times. Um, when you don't stay hydrated, your blood cells tend to that area is thickened. So the blood, the circulation gets to be sluggish, and your platelets and things they get more sticky, and that's even how the blood clots are formed because it's other ways, a whole uh, pathophysiological process that would bore the hell out of you. But just pretty much staying hydrated prevents a whole lot of this. Just lots of water, fluids.
I really wanted to make that point because, and I thank you, you for letting me interrupt you really quickly. I'll drop down, but I really wanted to make that point because I don't think people talk about water intake enough, how much water they're intaking and replacing the water intake with other sugary fluids, or alcohol or whatever. Right. And I don't think like we as a community, like, do you realize that a lot of these things can be, prevented? Thank you for the word. With just the amount of water intake you're supposed to be taking, and water intake is based off of your weight. So a person like me is supposed to be drinking like 84 ounces. Lord knows I try, but even if I can get my 64 ounces in, it's just, I feel like I'm flushing out all of those negative things. So I just wanted to make that, like, I don't think we talk about that enough. So something
Good
simple
point.
as water,
And good point. Thank you for that.
All right, bye,
Thank
guys. Thanks so much.
All right, bye, Sassy.
Bye, y'all.
Okay, I have someone else who's coming up, and you don't have to like water. You now understand you gotta like living. I hear so many people. Oh, I don't like water. Do you like living? Who is this? Who's up here? Hello, who is this?
That's TC.
Oh, hey, TC.
Good morning.
TC, can you say something? Okay. TC, your mic is crackling. Don't move your hands over your mic or whatever you're doing.
Before she speaks, should I just throw my disclaimer?
Yes.
I'm a registered nurse. I advise within earshot to seek medical advice from a licensed physician. I am not a physician. I do want to put that out there. The other thing I want to say is you can also drink too much water. So you have to be careful. And that's all. Go ahead for the next person.
TC, what do you want to add to the conversation?
Okay, that's me. Okay, yeah. Good morning,
Pam,
everybody.
We still got to you. I'm sorry, Pam.
Oh, TC, are you busy? Because you could go first. Because I have some time.
No. You go. You go.
Okay.
View.
Okay. When I heard about this last night, I definitely said I was going to strike up a video today to actually describe it. I have actually had a DVT and also a PE, pulmonary embolism. And so
deep
I was
vein
going
thrombosis and deep vein thrombosis.
Thrombosis, yes. And so I'm going to touch on that in my video. So I don't want to beat a dead horse because I didn't hear anything that any of y'all said to be inaccurate. Now, but I wanted to mention, I do have a Greenfield filter. Amaya did mention that. And if you want to think about what it is what it is. It's a filter. This is my little K-cup thing, but it's not this big, first of all, but just for an example. They place this in your vein in your leg. Well, the
Yeah.
one that I have is in my leg, so it's very small, but it's like an upside down, an inverted umbrella, and it has the screens there. And what it does is it filters the blood and holds the clots in there so that they will not just go free range through your body. Um, so, and then also when I had mine, I did not know. I was in denial. I thought I had, worked out too much and my leg was hurt from that. I do remember when I woke up that next morning, I got up and put my foot down on the floor and I was like, "Ooh, I'm sore." So immediately I said, let me put some Bengay on here and, do whatever. And then I was walking around doing things in the house, limping a little bit. The pain that you feel is not the same as if you had a sports injury. It is very, very different. So then I felt my legs. I think that by that time I was getting ready to go to work, taking a shower and everything. I found it so hard to even to get in and out of the tub. My leg was just hurting. So I said what I was going to do. I was going to go to work, and then on my lunch break, I'm going to go to the doctor's. You think you can do, you just ignore it because I wasn't used to that. So while I was showering, I felt my leg and looked at it, and it was hot. It was extremely hot, and then it was swelling up. So by the time I got myself all together and everything, I think I normally wore stockings there, and I didn't put those on because I couldn't get them over my thigh, my leg, the leg that was swelling. And baby, when I tell you it was swelling, but it wasn't enough for me to say, oh, I'm going to do something. I had it in my mind. I'm going to work. I'm going to go to the doctor's when I get to work at lunch. Then I noticed I was needing my inhalant. And see, because I have asthma also, I have the machine that they give you to, put some relief in your lungs. And what it does is the inhaler kind of holds your lung passageways open a little bit more. So I had something to give me some relief, but it felt like it was a block on my chest, and it was just increasing. So what had happened? Long story shorter, I went downstairs and I went to get in my car, and something told me, no, you're not going to do that. This is what's going to happen. I lift my head up and looked up in the air, and I fainted and I laid in the street. Now I was in between two cars. So if you were just driving by, you would not have seen me laying out. And, I was in a nice area. So it wasn't like if somebody saw somebody laying out in the street, they wouldn't do anything. But one of my neighbors, actually, I ended up really not being friends with him anymore. He said he saw me and he just, drove by. And in my mind, I think I could see him. And he said he thought I was getting something off of the ground, like my keys had fallen or something like that. So he didn't do anything. So in my mind, I remember this person that I used to collect their mail and do these other various things as a neighbor, drove by while I was laying on the ground.
Wow.
Now y'all know I used to have cocktails and stuff, but I've never been out in the street like that, So that kind of hurt me. But anyway, I still was trying to go. So anyway, somebody else ended up seeing me. They called the ambulance. And so I was all new to that. So it's very scary, especially when they come in and they say, ma'am, we've had, we've seen the ultrasounds and we did the, what's the big one? The one where there's a woo, woo, woo. I can't think of it right now. I'm having some memory issues right now because it was very traumatic. They said they saw so many clots in my lung and that they were going up to my brain. And when I tell you, I was so fucking scared.
Oh my
I
God.
was so scared. MRI. I was so fucking scared. I just knew I was going to die because they first off, they have to present it to you like it's very serious. Okay. So him being able to get up and ask, can I leave? That just hurts my heart because it's so serious. I had never had anything serious like that. So what ended up happening, I stayed in hospital for about 2 weeks. I took, the hospital regulated Coumadin and warfarin, and they got me better. They got me well. But he said, you came so close to dying. So they ended up filter during that time. This is why you always need to check your body out. I had been having female issues later on in life, and I ended up having like 16 tumors. So I needed an emergency hysterectomy. And the doctor told me, I will not do this hysterectomy for you until you get a greenfield filter in you, because it's not going to be good. So this is what I was describing for this. And when I left the hospital, they gave me, I was on a Lovenox, and that's a blood thinner also. You have to administer that medicine yourself. It is the little needle. You do have to place it in your stomach. That right there freaked me out, you know. And you have to take it until your numbers get better. I did get admitted to a clinic for sure to monitor my them numbers. So every time it comes up now with my history, anytime I have anything medical, I have to let them know that I have had a DVT and I have had a PE, and I do have a greenfield filter. And which is really ironic, the college that I went to, the Dr. Greenfield I did a part-time billing assignment for him during, while I was in college. And he is an excellent doctor. But yeah, so he developed the greenfield filter, and I even wrote him a beautiful letter years later. And every now and then I'll get in contact with his family, him and his dad. I think they both were doctors. I can't remember. But anyway, Dr. Greenfield. And so the filter is named after him. And I thought that was really ironic that, I needed the various things that, I helped somebody not develop or anything like that, but I just work with him. And the man that made the thing to save my life. Now, the greenfield filter, what it does is I still have it in my leg. And right now they're trying to figure out, do they need to remove it? With all the other things that are going on, they don't want to, disrupt, anything else. But I was seriously consider getting it removed, because I don't show any signs of having blood clots anymore, and my numbers have been fine. What's the point of having it in there? And my concern is, this filter has been in my leg for over 20 some years. Can the filter get clogged? Like, is the filter still working? So those are part of some issues that I still am faced with, but that filter actually helped save my life. So I will be talking about it later on this afternoon after I finish some errands and things like that. So if anybody wanted to come over and chime in, I hope you don't mind me announcing my video later today. But
hey, I'm gonna just start calling you Modney. Go ahead.
Okay.
Of course,
yes. Okay, so that's all I wanted to add, because I'm really, this has really gotten me really upset, and I've seen that some people have done videos making mockery of the situation, and you can never tell who has what. You just can't. You can't look at a person and say. Now, the one thing, usually when people that have those things, they're obese. I was not obese. I did have asthma. I had uncontrolled high blood pressure. And that is what they think that set mine off. And now that's one thing I always talk about, my high blood pressure. I really do, because it makes you feel like you don't even have anything. They call it the silent killer. But it's very, very important to have your exams. So I'll talk about that later.
That's right. Ronnie Q, I got to get off here too. Thanks so much for having me, okay?
Thank you for being here. I appreciate you coming up, Sassy and Olivia and Mike. I have someone coming up. I'm gonna just 1 second before you guys start. Hey, Jessnet, you want to add to the conversation?
Yes.
Well, Ronnie, can I get in? Because I have to go to.
I'm sorry. TC was here first, and we haven't heard from her. I'm sorry, TC.
Oh, no problem.
Go ahead.
Okay, no, thank you. This is an awesome conversation. Good morning of you, Net, and to the chat, and to the special guest. I wanted to ask you a question. 2 things really quick. Number 1, are you familiar with a book called Eat Right for Your Blood Type?
I have heard of that book, yes.
Okay. Do you have any thoughts about it? If so, let me know. But the real question was, I'm finding that there is an increase of women with gout, and I'm trying to figure out, because gout used to be a well, I don't want to call it a disease, but
Old folks disease, of old folks illness. I have gout. Yeah.
well,
Well, a male disease.
well, for
It's
men, mostly
routinely
men.
it was routinely found in men more. I think it's I think it's the content of meat you eat. Is that true,
They
Amalia?
call it the rich man's the rich man's
Yeah.
disease
Right.
because of
The
the
rich man's disease and the uric acid that is formulated in our body. And I was just wondering, especially since women can, well, I'm gonna let the nurse take care of the situation. I'm getting ready to come down and I'm gonna listen, okay?
Okay, so gout was originally called the rich man's disease, and it was because of the diet of the more affluent men in the community. So they would eat things like shrimps and lobsters, and those things tend to um, cause a level of purines to build up in the blood, and that's actually where they call them tofi. The tofi will settle in the joints. They settle in like the joints of the fingers or the toes. And if you've ever seen anybody with gout, you could see where, if it's a bad case of gout, you could see the actual tofi crystals in their toes or their knuckles. And sometimes, in my case, I see it in the ICU where they actually burst open and you can see those crystals. I've seen them actually in a Foley catheter where they settle. They're everywhere. One of the treatments that they use is we hydrate with IV fluids, and we try to tell the patients to drink a lot of water, and they would give them what's the drug? I forget the name of the medication because I haven't seen somebody with this in so long. Um, but taking that medication, all it would do is reduce the level of purines in the bloodstream, and in a conjunction with drinking water, it kind of helps to keep you hydrated so that you don't form those crystals, and staying away from a diet where you would have those purines like fishes and shrimp and lobster, things like that, because those things tend to have a high level of purines in them. So yes, I that book that you're talking about, yes, there it is, allopurinol. Um, the book that you're talking about, where treatments are based upon your blood type, they're actually doing studies on that right now. And they're finding that people with certain blood types tend to respond differently to certain illnesses. So I can't speak on that because uh, I'm not like versed on it. I'm not even going to go there. But at any rate, anything that you endeavor, I really, really wish that you would consult your physician and get the advice of a licensed MD before you go out and try anything. These books, anything on the internet, people talking to you, word of mouth stuff. Talk to your doctor and get with somebody like we talked about before, that can advise you, as to where to go, and stay prayed up.
Right. Okay, just Net, you want to add to the conversation? Just Net? Just Net? Uh-oh, she fell off. She may have gotten a phone call.
Oh, thank you, kind to me. I have to watch my back though, because them folks are always after me. Because everybody in my field, I'm the only one that looks like me, so I have to watch my back.
Yeah, I
Okay.
take the albuterol that you were mentioning. I take that 100 milligrams a day. I've been taking it for years. I actually got a good team. I go to a teaching college, and they have the Coumadin clinics. and everything. But right now, I am fine. What I had to do was get the high blood pressure under control first. That's the thing. If you're walking around here with numbers that are crazy, that's why they call it the silent killer. That was what I had to do. But yeah, I do take that.
Yeah.
It's
Just,
me, Ronnie Q.
Net. Okay, go ahead, just Net.
Okay, I was back on the Brian situation wherein I was thinking, can we do like people that have a good platform or whatever, do something to fund, to raise something for him so he have a peace of mind about his rent and stuff like that. But then I thought about it because people will do that and hold on to some money and not
Mm-hmm.
give him all the money. So he need to set up a GoFundMe. I'm thinking he should just set up a GoFundMe because people will contribute. People will donate to him because we donate to all kind of other stupid, silly shit here.
But the thing
So
about these GoFundMe is they take 40% of what's raised. I think in my personal opinion,
yeah,
he has a cash app.
just
I think
straight
he
cash app
Y'all
them.
cash out.
But I mean, people that have the panels and it's called, good, the good panels, whatever. Put it out there. Let it be known. Put his cash app out there so people will be able to donate straight to him
yeah,
and
I
not.
have been dropping his cash
Yeah, I
app
saw it.
throughout
I
this.
saw it around the
Okay.
queue. I'm just doing a
Jay
PSA
Wilson also
for everybody
Jay
else.
Wilson also did that yesterday. If you guys visit chats, you 40%. So if you guys visit chats, let them know that hey, we need Brian is worried about this. And if people choose to give, they're going to give same way as if on a GoFundMe, but at least he'll get all the money. That's just my opinion. I
Right.
could
I
be
didn't know
wrong
that.
of someone else's opinion about it, but um, I'm
Yeah.
just doing what I can. I don't even know if he's in the situation where he is has the wherewithal to be patient enough to set up a GoFundMe based upon the video that we saw yesterday. So
With you saying that though, Ronnie Q, I think that's a bad decision if they taking 40%. So
Exactly.
yeah, just drop the cash apps. Everybody just keep dropping his little cash app and
Y'all
see if
let
they can
him
help.
make sure he can rest and heal properly. The one thing that I do want to add is when you're in the hospital and you don't have anybody around you, do you know you heal at a slower pace, and just knowing that even if there's nobody sitting with him, that he doesn't have to worry about his rent. That alone could take a load off of his mind and let him feel that he's loved in the beach sector community, and just let him feel like he don't have to worry, oh my God, I'm not gonna have a place to go to when I get out of here. You
Right.
don't let him have that on his head. Just
Right.
throw a couple of dollars on that cash app and let him at least have his rent paid and his utilities paid.
yeah, so he can concentrate on his health. You
Ronnie
know,
Q. That was
yes.
it. I'm getting down. I just didn't want to just drop down.
Oh,
I'm
I
get,
appreciate you
and
for
I
coming up,
did
Just
that
Net.
last time because I keep getting these spam calls, so it just you can't hear me after I get that call or whatever. But y'all, I'm back in the chat, y'all.
All right, appreciate you coming up.
Okay, bye bye.
Okay. So any closing words from a view let's go with Amalia first.
My closing words, let me just say, I love my people. I love Black people. It's the reason why I became a nurse. It's the reason why I strive every day to be the best of the best of the best. Y'all pray for me because they be on my ass.
You
Um,
see, Clyde put up a prayer for you. Pray for Amalia's protection on her job. Pray as she's doing great work, helping us without any expectation. Pray she receives God's favor on her job with co-workers, administration, and patients. Yes, indeed. Amen.
Amen. I received that. And my biggest advice, if you all have family or friends out there and you on bad terms, please atone. Because the worst thing in the world is to be in the hospital and not have somebody sitting at that bedside next to you, holding your hand and letting you know it's going to be all right. Sometimes it's just that simple. Atone with them, and whatever the situation, go and you know what, bitch, I know I said blah blah blah, and I meant what I said, but I just don't want us to go through this. I just want to end it. Do whatever you need to do to get to that place, because you never know if you gonna be the one sitting in the bed looking up at the ceiling wondering where, oh my God, the sky's falling. You don't know what's gonna happen. Atone. And the other thing is, stay close to your doctor and listen to what he has to say. And if you don't agree with it, let him know. Doc, you know what? You full of shit. I don't believe you. Show me some literature on that. I just got into it with my hematologist. He wanted me to. I'm not gonna talk about this vaccine, but I want to see the literature on it. I want you to show me the data. Otherwise, stop talking to me. He emailed me a bombardment of stuff. Um, do that. Challenge your doctor. And if you don't agree, don't cuss him out and walk away. Challenge him to give you information. You paying him. He on your payroll. You are the boss. And lastly, stay hydrated. Stay hydrated and stay prayed up. And Ronnie Q, thanks for having me.
I appreciate you, Amalia. Thanks for coming up, and thank you for sharing a wealth of information with us. I always appreciate you. Thank you for being here. A viewer's review.
Yes,
Any
yes, ma'am.
closing words?
Yeah, my closing words are another thing as far as diet. I know that book that everybody is speaking about that TC brought up. I know that book. I had it. I don't know where it is. I'm gonna have to pull it out again. Um, there was one thing that I could not do where I had to change my diet, which was very, very hard. I don't know if y'all know that I love eating salads. I'll wake up and eat a salad for breakfast. I love vegan food. I love vegetarian food. I do eat some meats and things. No beef, no pork. I'm very particular and has to be organic and all that, blah, blah, blah. But I found a struggle in the restrictions that I had while I was going through this. I could not eat greens, salads, lettuce. And that's what I normally would eat. That would be the basis of any meal that I started. So to know what foods affect your blood, and what foods can make situations worse is
Words.
very
Yeah,
good.
and it's
Yeah.
odd that eating greens will make that situation worse.
Yes,
The
ma'am.
blood clot situation. I think it's the combination of the medicine
Hmm.
and I don't know if it's the medicine or if it's just the condition, but you have to watch your greens, and you would think, oh, well, I'm gonna eat a whole lot of. No, you have to understand
Hmm.
what is good for you. Okay, go
And
ahead.
it
I'm
was hard. Oh my God, Miss Ronica, it was so hard for me to make all these substitutions and that, like I said, was the basis of every meal that I had every day were some type of green vegetable. But thank you so much for having me up here. I will be doing am I doing Nez? Can I do a Rodney real quick? I will be doing a serious video later on today. I don't know what time, probably like after 1 o'clock, discussing my story. But the thing that I do suggest, which I always say, please go to the doctors to see what you're working with in your body. A lot of these things can be checked out just by having simple blood work and having a professional advise you. Like we're on here talking about our personal situations and family and life events and stuff like that, but it cannot replace actually going to a real doctor and seeing what you're working with. Thank you, Miss
sorry.
Ronnie. All right.
Thank you for coming up. Okay, I had a great panel of guests today, very informative, and the catalyst for this situation was Brian. Brian is in the hospital. Brian is, having a tough time at it. He is in ICU. He had a procedure done to remove some of the blood clots, but uh, it was a really sad situation, and he's really concerned about getting back to work. And if you want to help alleviate the stress that he's having about losing of not being able to pay his rent, it appears, or if you just want to give a prayer, whatever you choose to do. uh, his his cash app is $ BRINE 101. If you're so inclined to help him that way, I guess it would be greatly appreciated. BRINE 101. Uh-oh. 101. Okay. So there is his cash app. Uh and I thank Amalia. I thank A View is a View, Jess Net, Olivia the Oracle, Mike Lewis, The Sassy Show. Who else did I miss? Um, it seems like I'm missing one person. And I thank you, the audience, for coming out. And TC, yes, TC. Okay, I thank you, the audience, for coming out. Was there someone else besides TC? I said just net. Okay, thank you. It's time for the beefing sector to support one of their own, and you have people from other sectors bragging about how much money they've made off of the beef sector for coming out here giving subpar uh, reviews and telling lies, and then when they're busted in lies, saying that they're just trolling, you know, um, be it what it is. The beefing sector is the beefing sector, and that you have come away entertained at some of the reads and roast and back and forth with people that Brian has given you. So if you can you give back to Brian to alleviate some of the fear and stress that he's going through, to allow him to rest up in the hospital and be able to hear the doctors and instructions, and not worry about trying to get back to work so that he can get on the mend. So thank you guys for being here. Yes, always don't, yeah, I did say Mike, don't if you don't agree with your doctor, don't hesitate to get a second opinion. Okay, so that's all that I have for today. I don't remember anything else. No, I really didn't have anything else. Uh, uh, Remember, K Fit has her live set up for, I think it's at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. So it would be 7 p.m. Central Time. She's already has the live set up. If you go in and press the reminder button, as soon as she comes on, it'll come right on. Also, A View's Review is going live today with a topic conversation detailing, some good information. And also, Faith Yaya is undetermined what time she's going live today, but we're going to hold Faith Yaya to going live today. Okay. So, thank you for being here. If you want to support the channel, you can cash app $Ronnie Q. But we are definitely going to support Brian. And if the only thing that you have is a prayer, those work too, because all healing comes from the power above. So thank you for coming out. I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate the panel. And I hope you guys have a great remainder of your day. Um, as Seven Star says, stay hydrated. Okay, so with the hydration, if if you one of the people who like, well, I really don't like water. I saw quite a few people in the chat saying that you can get one of those Brita pitchers or put a strainer in the top of your pitcher. You don't even have to be all fancy and unique, and cut up some fresh fruits and let the fruits soak in the water. And you can cucumbers, apples, peaches, strawberries, berries, whatever. They have different recipes for water and different things that you can let sit in your water. Different fruits, vegetables, things like ginger might, and that you can let soak in your water, and it will soak the flavor in. And depending on what recipe of fruits or things that you let soak in the water, they have different uh, healing remedies. Like Carrie was saying, when you slice up cucumbers in your water, it's really refreshing. It makes you feel really refreshed. So, you guys go on the internet to find a lot of things. You will find a lot of these recipes on YouTube, water recipes, to make your water more palatable and make you reach for your water as opposed to these sugary drinks. That's right. Take care of your health. Okay. Thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate you. Uh, I may not be here tomorrow since it's the 4th of July. If you see my live setup, that means I'll be here. If a whole lot of stuff goes off, and then I'd be like, oh, I got to talk about this. But if not, I will see you on Friday. All right, you guys. I hope you guys have a great 4th of July. If I don't see you, and I definitely appreciate you for being here and supporting my channel. Hey, Smooth Carter. Okay. Oh, isn't the pickle? Oh, Lord. Yes. Okay. Thank you, View. I view your mess. All right. Thank you guys for coming out. Prayers up for Brian. I hope you guys have a great day. And I'll see you on the YouTube streets. All right. Bye-bye. Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated.